All right, guys, next up we're going through the pull-up progressions. Most of these progressions are for those who have a pull-up bar or rings or even like a branch of a tree in their backyard. But we also have at least 2 variations that people can do at home, even if you have hardly any material at all. So even if you want, say like, hey, I want to do some upper back strength work, but I don't have a bar to do pull-ups, you can still do some of these progressions. Other than that, same as with all the other exercises, 2-3 times a week, work your way down the progressions so you can progressively get stronger. Marloes is going to show us the first 2 progressions. The first one is an Australian pull-up, otherwise known as an inverted row. She basically hangs body like a plank, kind of like we do with the ring row. And you do this on a table or a chair or anything else sturdy enough to handle your body weight. If this is too easy, you put your heels on an elevation. For example, another chair or bench or whatever. And you do the same thing, body like a plank, and all the way up. And relax. Now, if that is still too easy, you could progressively make this harder by putting some weight on your stomach. Maybe a stack of books, a backpack, or even some plates if you have them. So if you cannot actually do pull-ups, you can still do this in a weighted variation. Now, if you do have a pull-up bar, especially if you can put it fairly low, or you have anything else that you can hang from, maybe even under the stairs, there is the alternative. First, we start with an assisted pull-up. Basically what she's going to do, she's going to make a pull-up, and some of her body weight is going to be on the floor. Now the harder she pushes with her feet, the easier it gets. And if she wants to make it harder, all she has to do is either lift the foot off the floor, or maybe just push a little less hard, and she can make it harder on herself. And relax. Now a lot of people have issues with this because they have a hard time feeling like, hey, how much weight is there actually on my foot? If you feel like, okay, cool, but this is way too easy, there's a way to force yourself to make it harder. So we have a box here. You could use a box or you could use something else that is relatively high. So you can do jackknife pull-ups. Big box in front of her. She's going to put her heels on here. And basically she's going to mimic another pull-up. But now her feet are so high, she can make very little force into the box. Last one, and relax. So we call it jackknife pull-up because of the position of the hips. And it's a great way to do an assisted pull-up, but still make it super challenging because for a lot of people the assisted pull-up on the floor is just a bit too easy. Now if you are very good at this, you can go to the next one, which is a half range of motion pull-up. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into the rack. So for this one you do need a bar or something like that. You jump up until halfway or so, and then you make half range of motion pull-ups. Basically in this position where you're fairly strong, and relax. So you basically stay in the position where you're strong and you make small movements, right? Because it's very hard to measure the actual movement standard, so to say. We do this in a bunch of seconds. So we'll say like, hey, for 10 seconds you start moving, and over time as you get better, the range of motion increases. So that hopefully at some point you'll be able to do a pull-up. Now by the time you can do a pull-up, can you show us one strict full pull-up? So you hang from a bar, you get all the way up. Yes, and back down. You go as close to a chest to bar as you can, you have your pull-up. Now if you can do a few of those, you can build up in reps, and at some point you can start adding weight, like put a backpack on your back, a book between your feet, whatever you have to actually make it heavier every single workout. If you do not have any weights, or if you actually want to work up to a 1-arm chin-up, good luck with that, we're going to go through a progression to work towards it. But actually doing a 1-arm chin-up for most people is like practicing for years and years on end. But again, just like with a 1-arm push-up or a lot of other complicated movements, even working towards it can still be very beneficial. So what Marloes is going to do, she's going to do a chin-up, which means she's going to have the palm facing backward with one hand, and she's going to grab the towel with the other hand. Yeah, so one hand, and she's going to grab the towel very high with the other hand, and she's going to work with her left hand as much as possible, making a pull-up. And back down. That's basically it. You basically make a pull-up, or actually a chin-up because you're almost facing back, and you're working with that hand as much as possible, and the other hand is simply trying to support. The harder you want to have it, the further you need to go out because then you have less support. If it's close, it's going to be somewhat easier. So grab the towel high, put it far away from you, and work with that. Now if you can do that for a bunch of reps, even with the towel far away from you, you could try to go into that first 1-arm chin-up. Make sure to make a video of it. because that would be amazing if you are able to do that. It's super hard, but again, every single step you make towards it is going to help you in the long run with pull-ups and your row variation, even to some extent with things like shoulder health and weightlifting movements where you need to use your upper back. So again, guys, if you need any help with this, hit up your private coach, send me an email, whatever. Make sure to let us know if you need help. Good luck with all that and creating that huge ass V shape. Good luck, guys.